Coming up, I fly American Eagle to Little Rock, meet a kind of a sleazy car dealer, take Southwest Airlines home to Love Field, and then I get picked up by the Pimp Wagon Deluxe.
So I'm a car guy. I like cars, and it's Saturday, and it's my day off. So I want to go look at a car I might buy. Great, Darren. Cool. Nice story. But I'm in Dallas, and the car is in Arkansas. So I'm going to fly to Arkansas to look at this Mercedes EQS 580. It was brand new, $133,000 around there. They're selling it for 72.7. It has 3,300 miles on it. And they're selling it as a CPO, so they have a 5-year warranty starting on December 31st of last year. So it's a good deal. And then because of timing, the airline I work for on Saturdays, the regional carrier doesn't have that many flights to Little Rock on Saturdays, or to come back on Saturdays. So I'm going to fly up on my regional carrier, and then I'm going to fly back on Southwest to Love Field and have my wife pick me up because she's awesome. And then we're going to go from there, and I plan on taking them up to Plano, Texas to look at a Lucid Air that I'm also looking at for a new car. And then we're going to have desserts somewhere and then come home. So that's my day. And then tomorrow, I go back to work. I have this one day off, and that's how I spend my day off. Hi, I'm Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. I'm a husband of a scientist, and I love cars. I've loved cars since I was a kid. I used to memorize car stats in car magazines. When I was a kid, I could tell you from 100 feet away, make, year, make, model, engine size, horsepower, trim level of any car sold in the United States. Except for like supercars. I never cared for supercars. But that's what I did. And I used to read car magazines every monthly, like all of them. Nowadays, the number of cars, especially SUVs, has expanded so much. I still know a lot about cars, but not as much as I used to be honest. But my daily driver is a 2023 Tesla Model X Plaid, has 10,500 miles on it. It's almost 2 years old, and nothing wrong with it. I love the software in it. I just don't care for the Falcon Wing doors anymore, to be honest. And the acceleration, it's extremely quick. I don't floor as much as I used to. So I'm looking for something more comfortable and old man-like, because I'm getting to be an old man. So I'm looking at a Mercedes EQS 580 used, because I'm not going to buy new cars anymore, I don't think. I did look at a Rivian R1S, a 2025 model. Great SUV, but it's a 2025 model, and it has no phone texting integration, meaning there's no way the software cannot integrate with your smartphone to send a text message while driving in 2025. Otherwise, it's a great SUV. I did take a problem with the way they have the options. I wanted this slate sky interior. It's a new one they have. It's blue and gray. That's only available if you get the tri-motor model. So they tied an interior color to a motor. And to do that, it's like an extra $15,000 all said and done. And I don't want to spend an extra $15,000 just for different colored seats, and I don't care for the other seats. So yeah, first world problem, right? And even, I mean, it's gonna be a $100,000 SUV. I don't want to spend that much money on the car anymore. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna pass on the Rivian. Then I'm also looking at a Lucid Air. It's a car, not an SUV, but I really enjoyed it. And I'm gonna fly to Arkansas, test this out. Look at this EQS 580. I'm not buying it today. And then I'm going to come back through Love Field and have my wife pick me up, and we're going to go to look at the Lucid Air. That is the plan anyway. So we'll see how all this works. Me being a pilot, I can show up late at the airport. It's 7:44. My flight leaves at 8:47. It's on my regional carrier I used to work for. It's on the 175. Plenty of open seats in the back. No first class for me today. But follow along if you want to, as I go to Arkansas to look at a car, come back on Southwest, and then go look at a Lucid Air, and then get dessert with my family. All right, so Terminal B bus came pretty quickly. Head over, got inside, didn't get random KCM, hopped on a 175, and head toward Little Rock. Now, I've flown to Little Rock in the 145, the CRJ, and the 175. I've been there a lot. I even flew once on the MD-80. a 16 and a half hour between departure in Charleston and arrival in Dallas, but that's a story for a different day. Now, 22 left in Little Rock, that's what the approach we were doing, I can tell because I've been there a lot. It has an offset localizer. And one day, many years ago, I was 145 FO, and we're leaving the gate, and Northwest Airlines Airbus, that's how long ago this was coming in, they said, "Hey, Tower, something's wrong with the localizer on 22 left. It's not lining up with the runway." And the tower came back, "Yes, sir, it's an offset localizer. It's on your approach chart." Silence. Now, getting into Little Rock this day, it was really windy and bumpy. A front was coming through. So coming down final, we were bumping and rolling quite a bit. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll see how this landing's gonna go. It might be a little bit rough, firm, because it's pretty windy. No, this captain, she greased it on. And it was the captain because I can tell the FO made all the PAs in the in-flight, so it was the captain that flew it. And man, she just greased it onto the runway perfectly. I just stopped by the flight deck and said, "Hey, nice landing, Captain." And she said, "Thank you." And I head on my way inside. Again, terminal hadn't changed very much in the last decade since I've been there. I've been there once, like I said, in the MD-80. Anyway, outside to my rental car, a Hyundai Sonata again, standard rental car, nothing special. I like the Sonata though, for a gas car, it does the job, has great driver assistance features. Drove over to the dealership. Again, this is my own dime, right? My day off. Pulled up and I see a blue Mercedes SUV being pulled around. Oh, is that my blue Mercedes SUV? Because it's not very common blue color for Mercedes. It wasn't my car. It was an EQE. Headed inside, and there I saw what I wanted to be my blue EQS 580 in the showroom right at the exit door. Now, as a teenager, I worked for an auto auction, and I was told how to look for paint damage, repaints, resprays, that kind of thing. So I'm looking at the paint, and I'm seeing a few rock chips, nothing major. Checking it hasn't been repainted from what I can tell, has the original factory clear coat on the car. I wanted this car. There's only 2 EQS 580 blue SUVs for sale in the country right now, and this is one of them. I want this car. Sit inside. Again, I've driven 2 before. The software is slower than my Tesla, but it's fine. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which my car doesn't have. I'm fine with the UI anyway. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Back seat, and they have the rear screens inside. It's a weird trim. These screens aren't very common, but YouTube plays just fine. My kid plays the screen in my Model X. She'll love to have her own screen in this Mercedes. Now, I should do this test drive. So they pulled the car out of the dealership for me, and we went for a test drive. Again, it's 4-wheel steering, 4-wheel drive. The range is about the same as my Model X Plaid. It's about 285 miles of range in the real world. Solid SUV. I'm ready for something different. So we go for a drive. Again, the autopilot's not the same, but it's similar. Again, I'm a pilot. I like driver assistance and that kind of thing. And tech, I like tech. I'm a geek. Went back to the dealership, parked it and said, "Man, this is the car I want. Here's my trade-in." They really lowballed me on my trade-in, like $8,000 less than I was offered by eCar One here in Dallas. I'm like, "Hey, you know what? Not a problem. I'll sell my car to eCar One in Dallas, and I'll drive back up here next week and buy it. I work tomorrow. This is my only day off. I just wanted to see the car today." I said, "Hold on, sir. Be right back." Came back, and they offered me $67,500 for my trade-in value. So now I'm like, okay, well, I'd be out of pocket roughly $5,400-ish, $5,500-ish. The number's on the screen. Versus if I were to sell my car to eCar One for $70,000, fly up here and buy the car, I'd be out another, I think total would be around another $7,000. So now it makes sense for me to drive my car up here and sell it. So, "Hey man, I appreciate you doing this. I didn't ask to negotiate. I'm fine with the price, but I still can't buy the car today. I work tomorrow. I have obligations in Dallas tonight." "Hold on, sir." Now they offer me $69,500 for my car. I'm like, "Man, you're doing a good job. Obviously, there's hidden money here, but I still can't do it. I have obligations." "Well, don't worry, Mr. Bird. We will deliver this car to you and pick up your old car. No problem at all." I'm like, it sounds good, but I don't want to rush into things. And I'd rather do it the old-fashioned way. I don't want to own 2 cars at once. And shipping. I've seen Hoovy have cars damaged. JS Auto House have cars damaged in shipment. I don't want to take that risk. So we're taking a risk by your car not being damaged either. I'm like, You are, but I don't want, it's unnecessary. This car's been on your lot for over a year and a half. All right, it's a 2023, it's 2025. No one's gonna buy this car in the next 5 days. So I'd rather wait. And then they did this sleazy car salesman thing. Well, if you don't buy the car today, you come back next week, it's the higher price. I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm gonna go now. Thank you very much. And I left. And in my head, I'm like, they just lost the car sale. I don't like these stupid games, right? I'm a guy. I'm not loaded, but I make enough money that the difference between the 69.5 and 67.5, the $2,000 difference, wasn't gonna make or break me, right? I was happy with the numbers before I even got here. So I got my rental car, frustrated, and headed back toward the Little Rock Airport. Had to pump gas in the dang rental car, like a whole gallon. Ugh, got my hands dirty. Gas. Got to the airport, and then I haven't jumped seat on Southwest in a long time. I listed online the day before. We have a way on my own airline of listing on almost every airline in the whole world. That's like telling them I'm coming, I'm a pilot. Selfie verified. Went to the gate area, and I first met up with Dylan and Sarah. Sarah's at airport operations. Dylan worked for Envoy. We've been talking together online for years through messaging and comments and everything. Talked to them for quite a bit, and then I had to figure out how the whole jump seat thing works. So I went up to the gate agent and handed him my ID, said, hey, I'm listed on the flight, and said, oh yeah, man, no problem. Man, here you go, flight's wide open. And they gave me B37. I'm like, what does this mean? Because I haven't jump seated on Southwest in a decade. So I'm watching the boarding process happen, and I'm like, okay, they're in this other group now. Now they're doing A's, okay. I'll go stand back here. I'm standing back here, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, it's B1 through 10, okay, yeah. And then like, I was in the last group to board, the plane wasn't very full. So went down to the jet bridge and stopped by the flight deck, and I met Brian. He happens to be a follower of mine. He recognized me. He's DFO. So he walked me aboard, captain walked me aboard, and then again, I asked for a seat. I do not work for Southwest. I'm a pilot begging for a seat. I'm not paying them any money today. And the captain said, hey man, welcome aboard. Take a seat, glad you're here. Brian said, hey, glad you're here as well. Head toward Dallas, and I haven't been on this plane in a while, you know, Southwest 737. And I ordered a Coke Zero, and I thought I'd get the whole can, but they do service very differently, because it was kind of bumpy. She took all the orders in her head for every couple rows, came back and handed us all cups. They were small cups, but it's a short flight, and a little bag of snacks. It was great. Coming in Dallas, it was really bumpy and rocking, and I'm thinking, okay, all right, here comes the normal 737 slam on the runway, because it's really bumpy. Man, and later on I found out it was Brian. Brian greased that plane onto the runway. We're rocking, man. And I'm like, here we go, and just, whew, wow. Walked off the jet bridge, up to the terminal. I haven't been here a long time. Last time I was in left field was a Virgin America flight. I took to DC to go to a aviation convention a long time ago. Followed the signs of baggage claim, and they have the awesome exits here where they're one-way electronic exits. I wish all airports had these versus have somebody stand there and watch people leave the airport. I think it's kind of silly. Left the airport, and then the Pimp Wagon Deluxe was gonna pick me up, my wife and kids, and went outside. Here comes the Pimp Wagon Deluxe, and we head up to Frisco to look at a Lucid Air. I like the Lucid Air. I test drove one week prior. It was good. But I wanted to show my family the car. They had never seen an EQS 580 yet because of the timing. They were supposed to come with me to Little Rock, but my oldest had a band competition that morning. I had a science thing that morning. Anyways, they all love the EQS. No, sorry, they all love the Lucid Air. Lucid Air. Big vehicle, big back seat, lots of tech, real leather seats. It's that low to the ground, but I'm like, I think I can do this. So actually, it did place an order for a Lucid Air, but then I remembered I didn't test the sound system. And I like music, right? But then I went back again for another test drive and to test the sound system, and it's not good. The surreal sound system is not very good. And they had no combination of Surreal Sound Pro and the autopilot system, the Dream Drive Pro, in Texas. So I can't get one for the end of the month, and that's when their specials end. So I'm hoping that maybe I can get one next month. But I'm gonna send it to Darren, who's driving home. He'll finish the video, but my car adventure and search does continue. But Darren, wrap it all up. All right, so back from Arkansas. Quick flight to Dallas. My wife picked me up. And what happened then? And so we went to actually from there we went to Plano, and I wanted to show my wife and kids the Lucid Air. Yeah, do I want to lease? Because I would only lease the Lucid. I don't trust the company enough to buy it. Because even though I could buy it for almost even money, with all the discounts they have, eh, I'm better off leasing it. The total lease cost, start to finish, would be roughly $35,000 for a $90,000 MSRP car. The payments would be right at 1% of the price, which is typically a good lease. If you go to Lease Hacker, they say if you can lease a car for 1% of the MSRP, you're doing pretty good. And it'd be 1% of the MSRP. After including all taxes, and Texas kills you on leases. In the state of Texas, you have to pay full sales tax on the entire capitalized cost. So you pay $4,600 sales tax on the $71,000. They really hurt you here on leases. And then if you buy the car at the end of the lease, you pay tax on that price too. So if you're in Texas, it makes almost no sense to ever buy a dang lease car. But we'll have to see. This guy's going so slow. Or if I were to get the Mercedes, then it would be I would be out of pocket if they kept the deal. I'd be out of pocket roughly $3,500, and I'd have a car with a 5-year warranty on it with 3,000 miles on it. It's 2023, but the features are fine. It would only have 280 miles range versus the Lucid has 400 miles range. With a Mercedes, I could easily sell the car whenever I wanted to. With the Lucid, it's really hard to get out of a lease, especially if they don't hold the value very well. So that's the risk. But 39 months isn't a crazy long time. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But I got 3 days to think about it because tomorrow I do go to Haneda, Japan, and it's a 13-hour and 35-minute deadhead flight. So I got plenty of time to watch some YouTube videos and read some articles and think about what I want to do. But I hope you enjoyed my video about cars. A little different, a little easy day trip. Have a great day. Thanks for your support, and thanks for stopping by.